me, Jack, about a potential and very serious threat to Jabot.
I've stolen Kane's AI program. I want to make a deal with you. Are you interested?
The Young and the Restless, Y&R, spoilers for Wednesday, January 14th, reveal that Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, will form his own Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, plan while Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, makes a tough discovery. Victor Newman, Eric Braden, will also face a setback when it comes to negotiating, so here's what Y&R fans can expect. For starters, Victor won't be able to strike a deal with Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. Phyllis will taunt Victor now that he's lost and play up their Newman takeover plot, but he may promise to turn the tables and get revenge. Later, Victor will reconvene with Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, and get into a heated argument with her. Nikki will be upset since Victor let his stubbornness over his feud with Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, put them in this position. If Victor hadn't scored the AI program to use against Jack, they could have prevented this massive crisis at Newman Enterprises. Furthermore, Nikki won't think Victor truly has a grip on the situation. The more Victor tries to calm Nikki down by offering reassurances, the more she'll feel like he's just telling her what she wants to hear. While Victor and Nikki bicker, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, will catch up with Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and discover that her relationship with Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, has deteriorated even further. Tessa will offer updates on Mariah checking out of the clinic in Boston and refusing to return home. Since Mariah has cut off any real communication and keeps pushing Tessa away, Tessa will admit she's already begun the divorce process. Sharon might worry Tessa is being too hasty about the end of her marriage, but Tessa may counter that this has been going on for months. Tessa just can't take it anymore, so she may stand her ground on ending things with Mariah before she can cause any additional pain. While Sharon listens and offers her perspective to Tessa, Nick will take charge of another situation across town. It sounds like Nick's about to sign himself out of the hospital and take control when it comes to this whole Matt ordeal. Once Nick gets the latest news about Jack's failed deal with Victor, he'll decide to approach Jack himself. Nick will be ready to deliver a plea and hopefully strike a Matt deal of his own soon enough. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Nick will be a man on a mission, so stay tuned. Michael and Lauren Fenmore's, Tracy Bregman, marriage is hard hit by the Newman crisis. Of course, Michael's worried about Victor, but I think Lauren's take may be that it is Victor's chickens coming home to roost. Young and Restless spoilers, Nick's headed for trouble. Nick's having serious post-op issues with pain, and his whole recovery is going to turn into a dark spiral. Looks like he may have inherited Nikki's addiction gene. This is just a period where I think we're about to see the Newmans hit left and right with one crisis after another. Very soon, Jack and Victor are going to realize that they are both facing a major threat by Phyllis and Kane and the uncomfortable realization they may need to work together to deal with it. Plus, Sally is facing a big decision. She keeps seeing these red flags about Billy, and all the warnings that she's heard about him were valid. His mom is the top investor at Abbott.com. She's the CEO, and this has Sally in such a terrible position. I do think Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, would actually side with Sally to some extent about keeping her investment whole and setting Billy aside if he goes off the rails. We'll see how it goes. For 2 weeks, the familiar backdrop of Genoa City transforms into a pressure cooker of dread, moral compromise, and shocking revelations. From January 12th through the 23rd, The Young and the Restless delivers a masterclass in psychological suspense, centered on one man's unraveling and another's chilling ascent. Buckle up for a saga where Jack Abbott's world crumbles while Kane Ashby's laughter echoes with a triumph that promises to reshape fortunes and families. Week 1, January 12th to 16th. The foundation cracks. Jack Abbott's panic, a slow-burning fuse. The week begins not with a bang, but with a pervasive, creeping anxiety for Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. The deal with the mysterious Obsidian conglomerate, which he championed as Jabot Salvation, starts to show hairline fractures. Unexplained delays in paperwork, cryptic silences from the supposed liaison, and a nagging inconsistency in the corporate backstory related by his new ally, Alan Lauron, Christopher Cousins, plague his thoughts. Jack, the eternal optimist and strategist, initially chalks it up to standard bureaucratic hurdles. But when a routine background check run by Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, at Diane's, Susan Walters' nervous insistence, hits a digital wall, the first true flicker of fear ignites in Jack's eyes. This isn't just business. It becomes personal when a scanned document, meant to confirm Obsidian's holdings, contains a barely perceptible digital watermark Jack hasn't seen in years. One linked to a painful, buried chapter of his past. Concurrently, subtle manipulations occur. A key investor pulls out citing ethical concerns they refuse to detail, and a Jabot board member asks an oddly specific question about Jack's mental state during the John Abbott era. The pressure mounts, skillfully orchestrated to make Jack question reality itself. Is this bad luck, or is he being targeted? His confidence, the bedrock of his character, begins to visibly tremor. Kane Ashby's game, the chess master emerges. While Jack sweats, Kane Ashby, Daniel Goddard, operates with unnerving calm. Seen sharing a bottle of expensive scotch with Alan Laurent at the Grand Phoenix Bar, their conversation is a study in subtext. It's fascinating how the past always settles its debts, Kane muses, a slow smile spreading. Laurent replies with a knowing nod. Interest accrues, Mr. Ashby. Sometimes, it becomes the principal. Kane's role is revealed not as a mere beneficiary, but as an active, cunning architect. Flashbacks intersperse the narrative, showing Kane's months of quiet research in Australia, unearthing a decades-old secret that entwines the Abbott fortune with a legacy of shame, a secret he has now weaponized. He meets with Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, under the guise of discussing their children, but his questions subtly probe Chancellor Winters' liquidity and her trust in the Abbott family. He plants seeds of doubt with the skill of a seasoned gardener, all while maintaining the facade of a reformed man seeking redemption. The supporting storm, a city on edge. Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson consumed by guilt over his role in pushing Jack toward the Obsidian deal, Billy's self-destructive tendencies flare. He clashes violently with Lily, accusing her of trusting Kane too easily, driving a deeper wedge between them and inadvertently playing into Kane's hands by isolating Billy from his family. Diane Jenkins Abbott. Diane becomes Jack's canary in the coal mine. Her instincts, forged in a lifetime of chaos, scream that something is wrong. She goes rogue, contacting private investigators outside of Genoa City, and stumbles upon a connection between a shell company funding Obsidian's bid and a bank in Sydney. Her pursuit puts her in unseen danger. The Newman Vortex, Victor, Eric Braden, observes the Abbott chaos with detached interest, advising Nikki, Melody Thomas Scott, to let the Abbott men face their demons. However, Adam, Mark Grossman, sees an opportunity.